Good morning, boys and girls, and we are at Thursday already. Thursday, the 20th of January 2021. Let's get started. So, starting with our spellings as always, and I'm going to point to them. I want you to say them before I say them, just to make sure that you know them, okay? So, here we go. Come. Some. Must. Under. Coming. Love. Money. Above. Month. Front. Enough. And doesn't. And of course we write those into our Thursday column. Now today for our literacy we are returning to compound words. And can you remember what a compound word is? It's two words that are joined together to make a new word. So for example, paper and work equals paperwork. Now we have words down one side of the page and words down the other side. And you join a word from this side to a word on this side to make your new compound word. So let's look through these words and make sure that we know all of them, okay? So we've got fire, butter, fish, rain, note, chop, arm, lady, vine, and green. On the other side then we have bird, sticks, chair, bowl, coat, man, cup, yard, and house, and book. Now I'm going to give you a little clue for one of these or I'm actually going to tell you what one of these are because it might be a wee bit tricky. Because the word vine there, a vine is like a branch or a green part of a plant. So for example, grapes would grow on a vine. And when you join it to the word yard here, we don't say vineyard, we say vineyard. Okay, and that might be a word that you do not know. Grapes would grow in a vineyard. They grow on a vine, and the area in which they grow is referred to as a vineyard. All right. Now, if you're having difficulty joining any of the other words on the left to the words on the right, just start off with the ones that you definitely know. All right. Get those done, and then it'll make it easier to see which words are left to join to which words on the other side as well. And goodness me, I forgot to go through our sounds in focus there. Today we are looking at question 10 and question 11. And we'll have a quick look at the challenge as well. Now, on question 9 we were looking at prefixes, which is a group of letters that go before a word to change its meaning. And on question 10, we're continuing to look at prefixes. Question 10 asks you to write words starting with un to match the meanings. The prefix un can mean the opposite of or not. So for example, unhappy means not happy. Unlock means the opposite of lock. So if you lock a door, to do the opposite would be to unlock the door. So you're going to put un in front of these words to change the meaning. So not sure would become I think. Not true, not known. And then opposite of done, opposite of lucky, opposite of tidy. So you're going to start each word with un to match the meanings of these little phrases. So not sure would become I'm sure you know. Question 11 then is asking you to fill in the blanks. So you have part of a word there, and you have to put in between, in the little spaces there, you have to put in one of these groups of letters. So either U, O, OU, or OE to represent the sound that we're looking at this week. And then it says, write the words you have made on the lines. So once you've filled in the blank spaces, then you can write out your new words on the lines. And there are 2 lines there for you to write your words. So each time you've written a word, leave a little space and do a little comma, just so I know that you're making a list of your words. The challenge question then requires you to colour in this picture using the colours green, yellow, red and blue. All right. Now, you have to read each word, and if it has the sound, this week's sound, you colour it in green. If it has an O sound like boat, you colour it in yellow. If it has an oo sound like book, you colour it in red. And if it has an ow sound like cloud, colour it in blue. Okay, so don't be afraid to keep saying these sounds aloud to help you when you're looking at the words. So we've got o, oo, oo, and ow, ow. So for example, love there, v, love. That would be green because it has this week's sound, ah. What about the word fool there, fool? The U there is making an oo sound, so you would colour in fool in red. So look at each word, say it aloud. Don't be afraid to say it slowly and clearly, trying to hear the sounds in it, and then choose the colour that suits it best, okay? Moving on to our maths work then. And as you know, for the next 2 days, for today and tomorrow, we don't have an actual worksheet, but we're going to be working with these coins to help us calculate change. And change, as you know, is a very difficult concept, and a lot of us have found it tricky because it takes quite a while to get the hang of change in P4. We're really, really good, excellent in fact, at counting money. From what I've seen from all the work you have sent me, you can count all these coins, you can count £5, £10, £20, no problem. But calculating change is just a bit more tricky. So you're going to need this page of coins today. So if you haven't cut them out yet, then you need to pause this video, get out the scissors and cut these coins, and then we'll get started, all right? So I'm assuming now that you have the coins ready in front of you, and you will need a partner for this activity, a partner who is pretty good at counting money, so maybe a grown-up at home, all right? And what I want you to do is I want you to give them all of the pounds that you have, all right? I think you have 7 of them there. Hand the pounds over. You can pause this video as you're doing it, and the rest of the coins are going to be yours, all right? Now, you are going to be a shopkeeper and your partner is going to be a customer. And they are going to come in and buy various items, one item at a time, and each time they're going to hand you £1 to pay for their item. And you are going to give them their change. This is your shop. This is all your money, okay? And you're going to give them the change they need. Now, in your messages, I am going to send you a list of items, item prices. So for example, it'll look something like this. This is just a rough copy, but I'll send you a copy. Well, you should have it by now in your messages anyway. And it says at the top, I pay £1. So that's mummy or daddy or whoever your partner is. They're going to pay you £1 each time, okay? So the first item that they're going to pay for costs £1. If the item costs £1 and they pay you £1, how much change do you need to give them? None. No change, because they have paid exactly the right amount of money. Now, what about if they come back in then another day and they give you £1 for an item that costs 99p. What do you have to give them back? The item costs 99p. They've given you £1. You're going to have to give them back a penny, a single penny. Now, I am going to give you different amounts of items that they pay for, and each time they're going to hand you £1. Now, if you're finding it difficult to calculate change from £1, you can start at a different starting point. You could let mummy or daddy, or whatever adult is working for you, pay you with 20p, for example, okay? And you can give them change, okay? So they could make up amounts for you. They could say, I have 20p and my item costs 18p. Give me some change, all right? Can I have my change? So if they hand you 20p and their item costs 18p, how much are you going to have to give them back? 2p, isn't that right? So I will give you some questions to start with, but as I say, if you're finding them a bit tricky, get someone at home to ask you questions using smaller amounts of money. If, on the other hand, you're finding it too easy, you could start at a higher starting point. You could start with £2. You could start with £5, all right? Just as long as you do lots of practice. Now, I'd like to hear that you've been working on this for about maybe 20 minutes, okay? Just playing around with the money and calculating change, okay? And we'll be doing more of this tomorrow as well. So the more you practice, the better you will get at change, all right? So I give you some amounts to start with, but I do expect you then to be coming up with other amounts as well and calculating change for lots of items. Now, boys and girls, usually on a Thursday we do our Grow in Love, and Mrs. McFadden was a bit silly and she gave you Grow in Love for this week, but you have booklet from Catholic Schools Week to work on this week. I know some of you have sent me lovely work from it. Some of you didn't have time to work on it, but maybe you could do Thursday's activity. So we're going to put Grow in Love aside for this week because it wouldn't be fair to ask you to do two things. We'll return to that next week, all right? Today, you could try the Thursday activity in your Catholic Schools Week booklet. And Thursday's activity is all about a man from Moses who went through difficult times. Now, with the pandemic and everything, we all know what it's like to go through difficult times, don't we? Now, there is a little YouTube video which you can watch, and there's some information here for grown-ups to read. So even if you watch the video and then you coloured in the picture, that would be great. And you would learn a little bit about Moses, who is a very interesting character in the Bible. So boys and girls, that is our work for today. Try also, well, if you have time, try to get some reading done as well. We are, as you know, aiming to get one AR quiz, one accelerated reading quiz done a week. So try your best to get that done. And our Sumdog this week, the activities on Sumdog, as I told you before, are related to money. So they would be very helpful for you. Try going on to Sumdog when you get a chance, just to revise your knowledge of money and to reinforce your learning. All right? Talk to you tomorrow when it will be Friday. Bye-bye.